Hey everyone, hope you are having a fantastic start to your weekend. As the title says, GROW Comm is live. Super excited about this. I should always do a lot more work on letting people know about this when GROW Comm opens because I really just put it on my stories and I don't do anything else. Might say it on the podcast, might say it in a YouTube video, but that's really about it. So I figured I'd get on here. I would talk about it being open. It's only going to be open for a few days, and then put the link right in this video so you can see how to join. It's going to take you right to where you can join and get rocking and rolling, and then go a little more in depth about what GROW Comm is, because that's also something that I hit on the icing of the cake. I always say in every live I do, or story I guess, that GROW Comm's open, it's going to be open, and it's a networking and place where you can ask any question and not feel silly about it, right? I know in business, and there's a lot more, so we're going to get into that, but I know in business, how often you feel just flat out dumb. You don't want to ask a question because you always feel like everybody has all the answers and you don't. Well, the fact of the matter is that's not the case at all. A lot of people don't know anything about what's going on. They are flying by the seat of their pants, and they could be super questionable operators. They might be good operators. Ultimately, one of the best skills in business is purely just being able to figure things out as they come, and then stacking up those wins and continuing to move forward and kind of climb the mountain. But the whole idea here is to make it feel safe, to where it's like, man, I know I can get that. I don't have to worry about that being a dumb question. I can just ask it, and so I get the answer, so I can move forward. Because what people do is they have questions, and in say you go to a business conference or you're in front of a bunch of people, you don't ask because you don't want to look dumb. That's how I was in school, and I totally understand. I can totally relate to that feeling. And so then you don't make the progress you could make, right? And it doesn't take many people to air out those questions and vet those to get you pointed in the right direction, have some idea of what area to go. And so it's a networking group where you can do, that's one piece, you can do that alone. And that part alone is so huge, being able to just ask what you need to ask whenever you want to ask. Now, there is a lot more to it than that, though. My intention was to continuously use all the stuff and put all the stuff we use in our business to grow our company and make it available inside of GROW Comm for everybody to grow their company, implement those things, take action on those things, and move through that as quickly as possible. So whether that be a budget creator, it used to be that I would have this stuff up where someone could purchase it or whatever, and we'll probably do it again where somebody can purchase that stuff in the future. But right now it's just all available if you're in the group. Our budget creator, our goal tracking stuff, our goal setting stuff for the year in the business. So many different, that's just some of the Excel stuff. Then there's all of the email blasts we do, all of the documents we do, all of the marketing campaign stuff inside the business that we send out in email form, to really have a content rich just database of stuff that we have enough at this point where we can just constantly keep spinning the wheel. And you can use content from 12 months, 18 months, 24 months ago, because if you send it that long ago, it's still fresh, right? It's still right in front of somebody. It's still something new. And so we're pumping all the stuff we use in there, and then you could basically just take that, put your own words on it, make it your own, and now you've got that exact same thing that without having to do all the work. I wanted to share the things that we've put a lot of work into, so you can just implement them and rock and roll. Because the faster you can rock and roll in business, the faster you can implement and take action on something, the faster you can get it growing. It's so easy in business to be like, I need to work on a million things. I mean, I'm still that way. But if you could easily take action on some of the things that have worked for us, it'll help you grow your business way faster. And you can just pick and choose the things that you see the best and most value in. Now, some of the other things in here that I have to hit on that I really am stoked about are really the courses as well. So far we've got the admin training, and it's not training, it's hiring course. We've got an office hiring course. We have landscape estimating course, which is really, really big because it gives our context of how we think about basically going from not knowing anything about landscaping to being able to estimate and sell landscapes, sell projects. And this could be kind of applied to anything. It doesn't really matter if you're doing construction on a home, landscape projects, lighting projects, pouring concrete. It's irrelevant. It's like a service-based project estimating thought process. And then we have our landscape lighting course, which other than one little tweak, we now bury wires at foundations and we don't leave as much exposed, just to fight off the opportunity for any kind of, like, if there's any kind of spark up or burning of line, the line being buried along the foundation on the way back to the box would put out any potential fire hazard. But other than that small tweak, that course is awesome. And that's another thing we do, and I try to be very open about, is that I try to really be, hey, if something's changed, something I've thought has changed, I've realized there was a better way to do it, I try to be open about that, because none of us are the best version of ourselves. We're going to learn more, and ideally I'm going to be doing stuff different in the next year, in the next 5 years, and I want to share that stuff. That's how you're going to be in your business. You're going to be doing stuff a bit different every year, and it's not that it's bad. You might have had a really hard set belief about something, and then that changes, all because there's a different, better way, right? Some of the other things is there's the estimator sales course, which I just finished this week, purely just looking at like the process on project estimating, how we look and try to expedite that and make that as quick as possible. So one, we can get the estimate out fast and smoke competition, and two, be able to take that estimate that gets done and translate that all the way down to the project team so they can complete that project and have success. And so this is really, really big. Our sweet spot on projects is kind of like, I'd say 10 to 50,000 is kind of where our projects lay. And this is mainly based off of, like, it could be done with anything, but it's like, we love in Florida softscapes, LEDs, sod irrigation, like planting projects. And that stuff has been something we really, really love. But it can be applied and extrapolated out to other things. And then there are several different ones that we put in there. I can't even remember them all off the top of my head. We continuously are building a new course every quarter, releasing more. And then there are the live training sessions we do weekly where we're going over a topic, right? Yesterday we went over profit and loss, where, like, gross profit, like the idea of having a 50% gross profit and what that means to your business. And then really going over some of the leveraging numbers to be able to look at your financials and help you understand, okay, hey, that needs to be tweaked. If we tweak that, it's going to make massive differences in not just your gross profit, but your bottom line, and how those all relate, and how all of those, like, are tools to really have the outcome you want. And kind of talked about how business is a vehicle, that the more you look at it like that, and you don't just look at it, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be a great landscaper, a great mason, a great house builder. But it's not just about the service. It's about that the business is a vehicle creating opportunity for everyone that it encounters. That doesn't just mean everybody thinks the owner gets rich, but that doesn't just mean the owner. That means the employees, and that means all of the clients that it comes in contact with. That's a big thing. So that's kind of what we talked about yesterday. We have at least one course a week or one course a month where we go over heavy financials. At least quarterly we talk about mindset, hiring, all these different things, and it gives us an opportunity to go live on a Zoom call and have open context of, okay, we're done with talking about this topic that's going to bring value. I want to make sure we're bringing 3 actionable things that intentional things that I want someone to get out of this conversation. And then we're asking questions of, like, hey, what is going on in business? What can we do? What can we fix right now? And the cool thing is everybody's having the same problems. It doesn't matter if everybody's having the same problems or has had the same problems, I guess, right? It doesn't matter if you are brand new and starting your business off and you haven't done your first 10,000 in sales, or you are crossing the $10 million line, or you're crossing the $100 million line. There's like a version of every problem in every business that seems to repeat and just grow and scale. And then you need to continuously work on figuring out, how do we manage that and how do we handle that as we go forward? So that's what this group is about. This group is about helping others grow their business, I want to share the things that we've went through, because I've went through a lot of pain and suffering. And if I can keep someone else from going through some of that pain and suffering, if we can give one little nugget here that you can implement in your business and run, and it can change things for you, we want to do that. And we want that to not be that normal way that it happens. You know, there's all these Facebook groups for whatever business, right? Christmas lights, landscaping, roofing, this, that, the other. Typically, at least in our industry, landscape, lawn care, fertilization, weed control, that type of thing. You look at these groups and there's nothing but just dumbass stuff, dumbass answers. People, you ask a question, back to the thing about feeling dumb about asking a question about business. You ask a question in a group and you ask, hey, you know, what should your net profit be? And what the problem is your net profit is your goal for one, but you have all these people that have zero, like, they don't even really truly know what net profit is, right? You've got people that aren't even getting W-2 pay. They aren't even counting paying themselves, and they think their net profit should be huge because they're still pulling a lot of money out of that, and they are then considering that still it's all net profit. Or there are people that are truly doing it the way it's supposed to be, where the owner has already been paid, everybody's been paid, and then what's left is net profit, other than like the distributions that would maybe come from this, right? And so, like, you ask a question about net profit, you ask a question about gross profit, and you have people that are all over the board. I can't tell you how many times. This is just one simple context of this conversation. You get in a group and you have people talking about profit, net profit, gross profit, whatever, and you got people that, one, don't understand it, two, have no idea, like, and there's just this huge wide range. So if you've got some people telling you your net profit's going to be 60%, some people telling you your net profit's going to be 3%, it's like, whoa, dude. What is real? So you might feel like you're doing something horribly wrong if you're at somewhere in the middle even, right? Which is probably somewhere closer to where you should actually try to be. And so that's just one thing, and that's the context of how it goes and stuff like that. You don't have anybody, you got a lot of different levels. What we want to be involved in building is continuously helping people get to where they are owners of a business and not just an operator. There's nothing wrong with working in your business, but if you can get to where you're operating the business, if you have a situation like what happened to me where I just broke my pelvis, and I mean, I couldn't work. I can't even walk. I can stand up now, but I can still operate the business from the office style position. And so it's cool. I love working in the field if I get the opportunity. But if you build something like that, if you can't do something for some reason, that is still possible for everybody to move forward. It allows you, for after all the hard work you've put in, all the grinding you've put in, to potentially enjoy some of your time or be able to focus on some of your other hobbies. Because I guarantee if you start a business, for the first several years, you're not really probably going to enjoy many of your other hobbies. You're going to be working a lot. You're going to be trying to get this thing off the ground, get this animal going. And then say if you like sports, say if you like distance running, say if you like camping with your family and stuff, you're probably going to make some sacrifices in a little season of your life to get back to where you can focus on that stuff even more. So that's what we're also wanting to help cultivate, is bringing people up, letting people know about hiring people, having people on your team, having people in your office, so you're not spread so thin for the rest of your life that you're just trying to do everything to keep the ball rolling. And then if something happens in your life, you actually can keep operating. You don't lose your business because it's just you and a couple other people. Your team keeps running it. This is even more important from a standpoint of, I'm a massive advocate of this business as a vehicle, and that vehicle is to create wealth, right? The more I can take care of my own finances, the better I can be for my team. It's the same thought process of, in the airplane, they tell you to put on your mask first before you put on your kid's mask. That's because if you don't put on your mask, you got seconds before you go unconscious, and then you can't help anybody. So you could be fiddling with your kid's mask and now you both die. Same thing for the business owner. If you don't take care of your finances first, try to get stable, try to build that, then it's very hard to go out there and take care of other people. And that doesn't mean you shouldn't be taking care of the employees and everything as you go, but focusing on trying to make this substantial, solidified thing that is yours, so you feel safe to go out there and go to war every day, is just going to make you a better and better business person all the time as you move forward. So I'm constantly thinking and talking about in this of like, hey, if you're not the only person operating your business, you're actually generating more wealth, for the fact that your business is, great book to read, Built to Sell. if your business can't somewhat operate on its own, there's no value to your business. It sucks and it's sad, but it's a list of accounts, or it's something somebody's going to buy off you for pennies on the dollar, and they're going to beat you up because the value comes out of a system that can be operated. The closer you can get to not having to be in your business every day, or maybe not at all, and it can be managed, the more you're going to be paid cash up front for your business, and the more that you would potentially be able to have a buyout years down the road. So say that you're running a $4 million, $10 million, $15 million company, and you have a team, and it's a well-oiled machine. You're able to really sell that for some substantial money that could then be added to your potential retirement, all your future, all of those things, right? And so building this machine so it's built to sell has a lot of value. I'm not saying don't do a one-man band if you want to do that, but you're not going to get much value out of that when you go to sell versus if you sell a machine, a system, a process, and how it operates. And the other big upside of that is the more a person doesn't need to be there as an owner, the more people will give you a higher multiple, and the more you won't have as big of an earnout, because you have an earnout in buying a business. You're gonna have to look up what an earnout is, right? But it just keeps the owner married to the business for longer, so the new operator has you there to answer any questions, since they know you daily need to be in the business. So just think about that. Long-term value of business is highly increased if the owner doesn't need to be there every day, if he's not the face or she's not the face of the business, if she's not the one that has to make every single call. You have a team that can make calls without you. And that doesn't even mean you need to sell your business. It's not about selling your business. If your business operates that way, it's going to be more successful. It's going to be able to take on more challenges and push through stuff faster. It's going to be able to grow faster, and it's going to be able to just continuously expand and keep things going if you ever have anything major happen to you. So that was a lot of context. That's what GROW Comm is all about. That's what I'm pushing to help people with. I've had people ask me questions for years and years and years about business. I can only answer so much stuff in YouTube responses and all these things. I run a business in Illinois. I run a business in Florida. We have the coaching group. We have other things. We have real estate stuff we're involved in. And I'm continuously adding the plate. Breaking bones riding dirt bikes. We're doing, got Ironman coming up. We've got a 100-mile race coming up, trying to get ready for those and get out of this injury. And so I got a lot of stuff on my plate, just like everyone does, and I can only answer so many questions. So that was some of what we created this group, to try to be around for the people who are right there, answer the immediate stuff they need, and really try to propel some other people to have success as well. So everyone, hope this gave you some context about what GROW Comm is and that it's open right now. The link is in the comments. It's right at the top. That's going to take you right to the join button, and that's going to lead you through the process and get you rocking and rolling. Excited to see the group continuously grow. It's one of those cool things that you see it just grow and grow and grow as we open it. And it's crazy to look back and see, like, we used to operate on PayPal for the billing of it, and see that there's still people from years ago when we first started this in there. And it's just been a really, really fun ride with a really cool group of people that continuously expands. And every time it expands, and every time more people got in there, a few people have already got in since it just opened, and every time it expands, it just makes it better. Because the bigger the group is, the bigger that network is to continuously help people. And I guess I almost forgot, we got some cool stuff planned for this year, or it's in the works for this year. If everything goes well, we'll have another training day, and then we'll have some actual site visits, some other cool stuff going on. So we're continuously pushing to grow this and make it better for everyone. The goal is to bring you as much value as possible, so you can go out and kick some ass. Have a great weekend. See ya. Bye.